this is OVNII, and I'm going to show you guys a small, very short rundown, because I've been doing this video, I've done this video like 4 times already, and it always like exceeds like 40 minutes, and I don't want that to happen. So if you want to hear the full track and download it, check it out in the description. That track that you heard at the beginning, you know, that small intro sort of thing that I had with really terrible animation, that was this track, actually. It's HWDI, or HWDI, how we do it, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I did this track with this dude from the States. I'm sorry, Brightside, I forgot. I'm sorry, Eric. But he's fucking dope. Like, show Eric right now on screen. Oh shit. Look at that hair. Look at those obvious production skills. You see that guy's like, damn, that guy produces stuff. Anyway, so like, Eric and I, I just stumbled upon his stuff one time, and I was like, whoa, dude, you make like really weird, glitchy underground stuff. I like it. So I told him, dude, we should totally collab and you know, make something weird, kind of like a mashup of like, you know, your glitchy underground stuff with like my more bass influence kind of poppy bullshit. And I thought it was gonna be like, no man, fuck off, but he was really into it, and that's basically how it happened. We released this with Bass Cult, and it was really funny because we were like sending this track over and over to like God damn it, to like a bunch of labels, and no one fucking wanted it. Like, everyone just kind of ignored us, and it was a huge blessing that I mean, because this is a weird track. Come on, fucking, it's really strange and unorthodox, which tend to be like my favorite ones because it's just so much fun to make. But basically, Bass Cult contacted us, and they were really into it, and I'm a huge fan of Bass Cult. I'm a big fanboy, so I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And that's basically how it happened. I'm gonna show you guys really quick how I organize my stuff. Normally, like, I kind of have like you know, drums in red, and I put everything into like a group track. I like to kind of do that, kind of organize by colors and organize by name and group and stuff, because when you kind of sit back and look at what you've made, you're like, man, that's really nice macaroni. Then you get hungry, then you eat, and then you come back and you're like, well, time to scrap the whole thing and get better. So that's the idea. I'm not going to get too in-depth on how I made a lot of these sounds, because I can do that in another video. If you guys want to find out how I made these sounds, because I resample a lot here, but I can show you more or less the patch that began it all, I'll do a video. But like, you gotta tell me in the comments down there, you know, that place where people write really mean pieces of shit. That's what I want. But I don't fill it with mean pieces. You heard? Don't be mean, all right?
Is it the drugs or the fantasy? I got bugs.
So anyway, so the idea is that he gave me some really weird resamples and weird stuff to work on, and some weird glitches, and I loved it, but I kind of didn't want to use it too much because then it would kind of overpower the ideas that we had. So basically, it started off with this. Let me find the stuff. But it sounded more or less like this. But I think it was like in a weird, like, tempo. I think it was like 78 or something. It's like weird glitch step stuff, and I was like, dude, I fucking love it. But I told him, like, I kind of want to do some like more bass housey kind of stuff, because that's kind of what I'm into right now. And it was like, yeah, sure, dude. He was really into it, and it was pretty cool. So like, I took all these like glitches that he gave me. These are some of my favorites. And this one, of course. And like, there's a bunch of stuff over here, but when I start talking about like the drop and stuff, I'll talk about it. So basically, I'm just gonna do like a really quick rundown of like every single section that I have.
Is it the drugs or the fantasy? I got bugs.
it's probably very stupid, but the idea is that like the intro, you know, was just like these weird drums, and I wanted to have like a weird tom over it, but I didn't find a weird tom, so I just made one with like these kicks, so it sounds like. And just like some fills and stuff going on, which is my biggest tip for like producers. Like, start with the drums, dude, because it's just dance music. Like, dance music is the number one, like, I mean, it's not the number one, it's like the beat is what matters, because that's what makes people like dance. I'm gonna sneeze. There we go. Anyway, so like it's the beat is like so fucking important, and like people kind of like, oh man, I don't know how to start. Fucking make a really tight beat, and everything else will just fall together. You know, it will just fall into it. I have like these fills and stuff. I was cutting up a lot of fills from Arcando, because they're so good. Yeah. There's like some phasing issues when like the kick starts playing in the bass, because like this tom and the kick and like the sub kind of overlap a bit in frequencies, but whatever. So like basically I wanted to do like this this kind of beat. So that was the idea. Like, I wanted to have like a very very like shuffly kind of thing, and it was pretty cool, and I fucking loved it. So I went with it, and I showed it to Brightside, and he loved it too. So that's basically that. All right, so fucking, you know, we got the drums already, right? And we got the sub that I made in Operator. We got like these resamples, you know. We have like this Foley too, of like just dead man walking, and I have these weird effects that Brightside gave me. So yeah, all of them together, plus like some vocals that my good friend Joe Fred gave me, and this wub that I made, but I'll show you later in the drop. And all of that together with that and these horns, because I was really fucking into horns. I'm like, man, I need horns. So all of it kind of just comes together. So this part was like yabba yabba. That was an accident. Because if you guys don't know, the Ableton, like, you know, clip, you know, when you work on stuff, yeah, on audio, it has like different modes that you can play around with. So I think it's if I don't warp it, it just sounds what? Whatever. I think it's already fucked up. But the idea is that I kind of, it's just that, you know, from Run That Trap, and I put it up 8 semitones, but I forgot that it was like in Beats mode instead of Pro or Complex Pro or whatever. So I just kind of like, it's really weird. That happens because like Beats mode is like Ableton being like, yo, I'm gonna try to keep this in beat even though you're stretching it the fuck out. And it just sounds like this. And it was pretty cool. In fact, over here before the drop, you can hear it again. It was pretty cool. I loved it. But like, this took me forever to fucking sync up with like the drop and stuff. It was so weird. Anyway, so that's it for like the intro and verse sort of. If you want to know how I made the sub, how I made any of the resamples and stuff, just fucking tell me in the comments, man.
Is it the drugs or the fantasy? I got bugs and
So yeah, so I had like this tick thing that I wanted to use, because I'm a big like Zed and Dylan Francis fan, and they've been using it lately in their like more laid back stuff. And I haven't heard anyone use a ticking clock in like more big party banger stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm using it. Fuck it. The sub again. You know, and this resample here is very important. I don't know why it happened. It happens. I don't know if it happens to other people too. I've looked it up and no one can like tell me what's up. Basically, when I have a clip like this and it was a MIDI, and then I'm like, yo, fucking, I want you to do stuff, and I, you know, pitch bend it or whatever, and I press play, it's like, whoa, it sounds cool. And then when I go forward or whatever, everything else on that channel, all the other clips or whatever, they start getting detuned, and like I'll play them and they're in different keys, and I don't fucking get when that happens. So my best like turnaround to that, because like it just the only like fix for that is like fucking, you know, redoing the whole thing, not redoing the thing, but like, you know, opening the project again, but it just happens again anyway. So I just kind of like I just put a bunch of notes, I resample it, you know, and then I pitch up the resample. It always works. So that's a good fix if you guys are having the same problem. Basically, there's not a lot to say about the build-up breakdown, besides that I got some sick ass break beats. So I have like, you know, just kind of kept building stuff. Oh, I forgot to talk about this glass. For some reason, I mean, this is something that the Brightside gave me, and I just kind of ran with it. For some reason, when I was doing the drop, I used this clip right here. And if you guys don't know, if the note starts before the clip is cut, right here, if the clip actually starts back here, what the fuck? It's not even. Yeah, there you go. It's just like minute. If it starts there, like you play the clip and it does not have any sound. So for some reason I didn't notice that until way late, and I realized that after the clip is done, like it starts playing. But that's because there's like this really tiny note right there at the end. And I thought it was really funny, and I like imperfections in music because that just makes it more human, you know what I'm saying? You know, imperfect stuff is always kind of cool to keep around because it makes it more interesting. Yeah, so there's not a lot to talk about in the build-up, but these resamples and the vocals don't do much. We got this going on. And we got this going on. If you guys have heard my What Should I Do remix for the Yo Fred contest, right? Basically, I had this moment where like I had like this wub, and I just kind of kept copying it and pasting it. And I made all these sounds, by the way. This is actually Massive. I don't really use Massive that much, but for this song, I just was like, yeah, whatever. And I actually took like an old preset that I had found a long time ago, and I just kind of fucked it up more because I wanted it to be more phasey and strange. So yeah, like I kept copy pasting it and whatever, and then just kind of consolidated it, put a bunch of reverb on it, and then I kept kind of like climbing it up. And that's about it. The sound, like I said, I'm not gonna go into it because you know, I'm not gonna make you sit through a 1-hour video.
Is it the drugs or the fantasy? I got bugs and
Basically, the drop has a couple of things that are very interesting, and they're very good tips for starting producers that want to layer things but don't know how to. basically, I run on the principle that there's one lead sound, and you could make a drop with just that one lead sound, but there's no fucking point to do that because there's just going to be a lot of like emptiness around it unless it's a very simplistic track. But a lot of producers keep asking me like, yo, why does my track sound fucking empty? Or like they keep sending me music telling them like, yo, what should I do? It feels empty. And I'm like, well, fuck, dude, it's because you're only using one sound. And I remember Nightmare used to talk about how like, I think it was Nightmare, I don't remember, talk about like how you should have a focus in your drops, and the simpler the better, but that doesn't mean that you can't like make things a little bit more complex by surrounding and fortifying the sound with other sounds. So I have like these I have this lead that is a gigantic resample. If you guys look at this fucking thing, it's just a bunch of like weird you know, weird pitch bends and fucking around, a bunch of transposition, a lot of like playing with the formats and stuff. I have all of this going on. This is the original patch, but I kept kind of fucking around with it. And then this final version is just kind of like reinforcing this section right here. But I'll show you in a minute. And then I took all of this and I resampled it a million fucking times to get all of this. It took me like a week. And then all of this as well. You know, all these like little bits and pieces, and you might wonder like, why do you have? I mean, OVNII. I'll bleep that. Why do you have so many like random things? And that's because one, it makes it more interesting to kind of have stuff. But as you can see, they're only in key moments. For example, like you got this thing going on, but it's going on while, these things are going on. So they're kind of like doubling that, but in a different like octave. And then, these are just like in very minute moments, and they're just there to reinforce the original sound. So, I have like these things going on. And by the way, that ringing right there, it's actually this thing called the Great Buddha, which is a preset in, I believe it's the flanger. Let me see. No, it's not the flanger. It's the phaser? Yeah, it's in the phaser. So it's a phaser, but it's really weird, and it sounds kind of like gongy. It sounds like a weird, like, resonant fucking hit somewhere. So you can hear that, like, right now, because you hear, like, the lead, but, like, and you probably shouldn't have so much buzzing going on, but I personally loved it. It was really strange, and I was like, well, fuck, I like it a lot. So, you can't hear it when there's a million things going on at the same time with the drums and the bass and stuff, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have. It's really interesting. So yeah, the point is that, like, that's not the same with, it's like, you got, like, this weird, cool thing going on. I'm not going to show you guys the processing or anything, it's going to be lame. So the idea is that we got this channel, right? And then we also have these resamples over it, right? The only purpose that all of these things have, alongside these wubs that I created later, is to reinforce the sound and make the drop sound as full as possible. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, this drop's great. It is great. Shut up. But the gist of it is that if you can like have a really good beat and a really good like reinforcement right off the bat, which sometimes is what I do because I'm really bad at creating like melodies and leads. I kind of just keep messing around with the drums until they're really tight and really cool. And resampling stuff and putting them in like certain positions just to kind of make sure that whatever I have in between is well reinforced. Sometimes I start with the lead, sometimes I start with like the reinforcement, but most of it's just, either way you get to the same place, So yeah, that's it. Plus like the lead. So you got that going on, and my initial idea was just this, you know, and I was like, man, that's too short. Like, I don't want like a 2-minute song. So I decided I really like this section. It's like my favorite like loop of the whole thing. So I was like, I'm just gonna repeat this for the final part and then have like a break in between that's like half step, but I didn't know exactly like what to do with that. So I kind of did the whole thing with the reinforcement and stuff, so you can hear that right now. By the way, if you're layering all these stuff together, try to not have a lot of the same frequencies, and especially low end. Cut out all the fucking low end, please. Well, not all the low end, but like, you know, the bass and the kick should be what's mostly at the low end. Fucking everything else should be sitting on top, you know. Anyway, so yeah, that's just so it doesn't get all muddy and weird. And then I just did like the whole like what should I do treatment to the sound, and I actually really liked it a lot. It was weird, kind of lazy, but I liked it. And then it just kind of cuts back. And by the way, this is a very good tip as well to like kind of at the end of every 4 bars, yeah. At the end of every 4 bars, it's good to have like a vocal sample somewhere because it kind of makes it sound full as well, you know. Kind of sounds kind of cool. Run that track. You know, it's not something you gotta do all the time, and it can get kind of annoying if you do it too much. But for this track, I really liked it. I just didn't repeat it for the, you know, for the dubstep. It's not even dubstep. It's just weird half step stuff. Yeah, I didn't really do that for this because it's just too much stuff going on. This doesn't have any breaks, and I was like, eh.
Is it the drugs or the fantasy? I got bugs.
So that's about it. And then the breakdown in the second half is basically just a quieter version of the first breakdown. So it doesn't have any like, it doesn't have the break beats. So that's basically it. It's really simple. I didn't go too in depth into it.
Is it the drugs or the fantasy?
You know, and then the second drop, I just decided, yo, we already had like this section, right? Like these like 8 bars of like half step in between, right? Sandwiched in between. Why don't we do that for the beginning? So we have like this whole glitch section, which I really wanted to have like Brightside have like a huge spotlight in the second drop. So I had him like give me a bunch of like glitches, and I resampled them to hell and back, and it just sounds like this. You know, so that's basically the gist of it. Like, he gave me a lot of stuff, but I kind of liked those the most, so I wanted to like fill that up. And I was like, yo, let's start with the half step, and let's start with the glitches, and then it just sounded like this. So as you see, like, this isn't taking the whole thing. It's one sound going on, but there's like a lot of breaks and stuff in between, and that's all just for the reinforcement. See, fucking. Actually, like, I took my lead, my main lead from the first drop, and I turned that into reinforcement for the second half. So yeah, so that's the main idea. Like, I started glitch, and then I kind of took his glitch, elongated it a lot more. This is really just cut up versions of like all the shit that I did to it. And then I put that over like the same, like that thing. So that's the gist, and then it goes back into like this like what should I do type segment. But I decided instead of going back to like the dubstep, just kind of leaving it into like that weird like shuffly. And it ends with like the hook that I like. That's basically the whole song. But like one of the coolest things that I wanted to talk about is this this loop called Mr. Dangle, I guess. It's from the Culprit sample pack. You guys should check it out. It's so good. It's basically like bongos. I believe they're bongos or congas, and then like they're looped in a weird way, and I pitched them up so it actually sounds like this. Actually, it sounds like this. There's no warping. Yeah. So like I took it, I stretched it a little bit, and I pitched it up 12 semitones, but I forgot that it was in beats mode. If it's like in Complex Pro, it just sounds like this. Because it's on beat. I mean, it's a little, so you can hear like a lot of resonant shit in the back, but you know, whatever, I like that. But like in beats mode, it got all glitchy and strange because I forgot it was in beats mode. And I loved it, so I kind of kept that over the drums. Look, you guys already have me drowsy as fuck. See what you do? Why is he even here? There's a snare here for just this one hit. What the fuck? This is so weird. That's a mistake. But yeah, dude, that's basically the whole track. Check it out in the description if you want to hear the whole thing. Again, subscribe for more stuff. If you guys have any of my songs that you're like, damn, I'll be fucking, give me more rundowns and stuff. Well, I'll do it. If you guys want to see how I make these sounds, also let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, share. Fucking follow my Instagram. No, fuck my Instagram. Instagram's fucking garbage. Tell me more suggestions down below, and fucking I'll see you guys next time.